Anime is a very special medium to myself and probably to my viewers, but after being bombarded with seasonal anime at a very industrial rate, I feel like I've lost sight as to what makes anime so special to myself. And that's anime's ability to be abstract. Some stories are simply impossible to be told in any format other than anime. Take a look at any Ghibli film or any anime film to be exact, and you'll instantly see what separates those films from your average Hollywood blockbuster. Anime is weird, and that's what I love about it. Anime doesn't need to be grounded in reality. At the end of the day, it's just a drawing on a piece of paper, which means abstract feelings can be portrayed in an abstract manner. But I feel like in modern anime, we've lost that feeling of being disconnected from reality. And I've started to feel like a lot of anime have started making anime to sell merch. And that's understandable because most of the anime industry's profit comes from its merch. Examples can range from big shonen hits selling a variety of figures to also the harem genre selling so many waifu figures. But two anime this season have managed to capture and rekindle that idea of sitting down and becoming disconnected from reality, and they reminded me why I fell in love with this medium in the first place. Those two anime are Wonder Egg Priority and Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei and Wonder Egg Priority are both inherently disconnected from reality by the nature of their plot, with Mushoku Tensei literally being an isekai and Wonder Egg Priority being set in the dream world 75% of the time. These anime aren't bound to the laws of reality. Like Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan are both really good anime airing this season, but I feel like their stories are fairly grounded. Don't get me wrong, I love these anime, but I feel like they could literally be the plot of an MCU movie and it wouldn't feel as weird. My point is, some anime are becoming a little bit less abstract, which is not an insult to those series. I feel like they both accomplish what they set out to do, but they don't 100% capture the magic of anime in my opinion. That magic is far better captured in the fantasy world of Mushoku Tensei or in the dream realm of Wonder Egg Priority. Wonder Egg Priority throws the viewers into the weird head first, offering us a little explanation as to what's going on and just showing us glimpses of the past so that we can piece together the story without the need of exposition. The first episode of Wonder Egg Priority has to be one of my favorite first episodes of any anime that I've ever watched. We the viewers, like the protagonist Oto Ai, have a very minimal understanding of the eggs. And when she is tempted by a talking roll of toilet paper to crack it, and it pops open and we see that it's another girl. That's a sentence I never thought I would say, but hey, it's anime. Every time Ai cracks open an egg, it's like opening a new Pandora's box. By cracking open this egg, Ai is bringing a new girl into the dream world, but this girl is a past victim of suicide. So when the new girl appears, her past traumas also appear in a physically manifested form. These traumas don't affect Ai in any way. In fact, they'll only chase after the new girl that was born into the dream world. So, in the first episode, Ai is faced with a very heavy question. Does she risk her life and help out this complete stranger? Or does she ignore her and go about her normal life? At first, Ai wants to ignore it and even leaves the girl to fend for herself. But then we learn about Ai's backstory, and how her only friend, Koito, ended up committing suicide. And it becomes much more evident as to why Ai is so closed up and doesn't want to become friends with this new girl. Ai is burdened with the suicide of her past friend, and as a coping mechanism became a much more closed off person. Ai feels like she wasn't a good enough friend in the first place, and that's why Koito did it. But then, in an attempt to alleviate her past guilt, she goes and helps this new girl. And even though it isn't directly stated in the anime, it's implied that if Ai saves enough people, her friend will get brought back to life. I personally love this story because I feel like a lot of shows that try to touch on the subject of mental health often fall short at capturing the true nature of the beast. But Wonder Egg Priority isn't like those other shows. It's not grounded in reality in any sense. So it can portray trauma as physical characters that can be overcome and defeated. The Wonder Killers are these really abstract monsters born from the past bullies or abusers of the eggs. And before these Wonder Killers arrive, we usually see a horde of little red minions with like axes and knives try to take out Ai and her egg patient. I feel like these minions are representative of problems spawned from trauma. And they are animated in CG to show how they're not directly connected to the trauma, but help the Wonder Killer feel more powerful than they truly are. They add a sense of fear and hopelessness to the battle, and are a great use of CG to amplify the story instead of distract from it. Wonder Egg also throws a multitude of traumas and backstories at the viewer at the same time, which could be seen as a complaint to the show, but I feel like it adds to the overall feeling of hopelessness and drowning that Ai is experiencing. She's fighting day and night to bring back her past friend, so it makes sense why these new characters and backstories and traumas are being introduced at a rate where we don't even get to learn their full name before they poof away and it's on to the next case. Ai herself is fighting her own monsters, and that's the guilt of losing her past friend Koito. So I feel like this rapid pacing of the anime was done at an intentional pace to show the desperation of Ai in her early moments fighting for Koito. Overall, I feel like Wonder Egg tackles the abstract beast of mental health really well, and in a way that only anime can. And another show this season that's been capturing the beauty and abstractness of anime perfectly is Mushoku Tensei. I've made it pretty clear in the past that I don't like isekai, but I feel like Mushoku Tensei uses this isekai format and actually adds it to the story. Overall, I feel like a trope like isekai would feel cheap in any medium other than anime. Hell, it feels cheap in 75% of anime. But Mushoku Tensei takes advantage of the suspension of disbelief provided by anime and runs with it. The juxtaposition between the gross otaku life that Rudy lived in his previous world compared to the fresh, new fantasy world that he's in really adds to the feeling that this is a clean slate and a start to a new life. Rudy is reincarnated as a baby, which is often viewed as the purest form for human beings. And he's given a chance to live life and avoid his past mistakes, which is something that I feel like isekai don't often do. In this show, Rudy's backstory adds depth to his character. Rudy lived a rough life in the real world. He was bullied and harassed by people his age and could only find real joy by the escapism provided by video games, anime, and manga. Which, to some extent, I feel like most viewers of Mushoku Tensei can relate to a little bit. And Rudy's traumatic past isn't forgotten when he gets brought into this new world. Instead, this new life gives him an opportunity to deal with his trauma and become a better person. Again, we're watching anime take this abstract idea of trauma and constructing an abstract solution. Like, of course, you're not gonna get hit by Truck-kun and get sent into a new world to magically solve your problems. But Mushoku Tensei shows that everyone, even a weeb like Rudy, can find the strength within them to become a better person. My personal favorite moment of Mushoku Tensei is when Rudy first casts a powerful water spell, and we get to watch the mana flow through him and fire out of his hand. It's not a particularly action-filled sequence, but it's the first moment that we see Rudy draw up strength from within him and be successful. And it really goes to show that all those days that he spent working on himself, training, learning this magic, wasn't wasted. And by just having worked on himself a little bit every day, he managed to become way more powerful than any kid his age. And I feel like that sends a powerful message to the viewer. You don't have to be the number one at the very start of your training. You work a little bit each day and build up from there. Which is exactly what Rudy does, and he goes on to become a great sorcerer after that. After being slightly disappointed by 2020's year of anime, this winter season has really shown me why I came to love this medium in the first place. There are so many good shows coming out, ranging multiple genres as well. MAPPA has blessed us with some insane sakuga in Jujutsu Kaisen. And we also get to analyze things like Wonder Egg or Mushoku Tensei. And there's a plethora of sequels to get hyped about, like Attack on Titan or Dr. Stone Season 2. My point is, winter 2021 has set my expectations for this year and anime in the future extremely high. But that's not a bad thing, because right now is probably one of the best times to be an anime fan. And if you guys want to stay informed on upcoming seasons and my opinions on those anime, be sure to click the subscribe button down below and the little notification bell icon so you don't miss a post. And that wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, it really means a lot. And be sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys love anime because it's weird, or do you guys watch it for some other reason? And until next time, I'll see you guys then. Peace.